does the prayer season begin? Where does the prayer season begin? Harvest. If you did not have a harvest in mind, you just started fasting. All you were was hungry. Okay, Yasmin Konapo. Yasmin Konapo. Where does this service, a fire night, Sunday, a home church, where does it begin? Harvest. When you don't have a harvest, everyone is your friend. That's gonna very sociable. Wonke umuntu uyamthanda, wonke umuntu spend the time like, no, he's a toilet. The only thing people never disagree on is a toilet. Yakho umuntu owangena etoilet angifuni ukuyisebenzisa le. A toilet and a prostitute are areas of common agreement. Let's go back again. When you came to the service today, if you had no harvest in mind, you walk out with nothing. Why? Because there was no wisdom to build. There is no understanding to establish. And there is no knowledge to prosper. Knowledge to prosper means something happens. I was in a hurry last night. And I just felt I needed to read. And I knew I couldn't. My mind was too clogged up to start doing very intensive study. And I just happened to open my Bible, and it just opened Proverbs chapter 24. I was saying, Lord, I want to read, but I'm not in a condition to study. And I began to read. And I stopped. 2 verses from chapter 24, verse 3 and 4. I stopped. I thought, where have you been? I don't know you. I sat there. I could continue up to about verse 24. I sat there, went to bed. I was tired. I think it was about 2 a.m. or so. I was absolutely tired. But this year was hungry. So I just kept. Then as revelation came forth, harvest is the beginning of the season as opposed to the end of the season. In other words, it is the beginning and the end. Because where I began without the harvest, kwathiwa mfundisi besicela ibesicela inhlanyelo yomumbu. Okay. So mfundisi wasuka wayefamoscope wafathi ngicela inhlanyelo bathi iphi yakhona batha eyomumbu bathi hayi sibuze ezomumbu zona lezi iphi yakhona hayi ngiphani en Tawrathi ufuna isize 5 kg 10 kg bathi hayi rathi ngiphani 10 kg wathatha 10 kg wabuya wakupha. You knelt down, wapululuza, wabonga uJehova, watestify on Sunday. Ngenhlanyelo akade uyikhulekele. Except you found seed. You started with the sowing season. You did not start. The preparation is not the beginning. The harvest is the beginning. If I did not see it, how do I know when I receive it? The preparation season itself, we are preparing njani into ongayaziyo. Behind the preparation season, watch. Unless I saw myself living in the house, unless I saw myself driving it, unless I saw myself marrying it, how do I know it when I meet it? Let's sit, let's finish. Please be seated in the presence of the Lord. I cannot begin by preparation. I begin by harvest. It is the harvest that I begin with. Now, where there is no vision, the people, he said, write the vision upon tablets of stone, so that he who reads the vision may do what? And he who runs may read. So lina lamba la chata kuphela. What is your family vision? What's your vision for children? What's your vision for finances? What's your vision for self-development? What's your vision for the type of lifestyle that you live? What's your vision? Because if there is no vision there, limele likope next door. Tabathenga amasofa lana, mama la isefuna amasofa lana. Mancubeka ngeke ngehlule mina. Mancubelo wagcina ku form 4. Mina ngile degree. So the beginning is there. So I've got to be here where I have nothing, where you are laughing. They used to laugh at us. They have shared this with you. Life swaps. Laba abakhuleka njengamakhosi baphila njengenhlanya. Watch. So this is where I begin. With what? Nothing according to you. But according to me, what have I got? What have I got? That is why you find me and you ask, hey, I'm fasting. How come you're always fasting? The harvest. My harvest requires that I live like this. Watch. I grew up in the era where Kine 600 was where all the in guys and all the in girls went. Once or twice people tried me, don't you want to go and watch a movie? No, I don't want. One person sometimes, one time asked me, why is it I said because the anointing that Jehovah has put on my life does not allow me. Did I even understand that anointing? No. I didn't understand it. But it did not allow me. I say to Jehovah, the woman I will say, when a mama nyakutanda, is the one I'm going to marry. I am not going to be hopscotch and dance. Okay, whatever. Many of us were too salad to know that one. I think it was called hopscotch and dance. Hop, skip, and dance. Hop, skip, and jump. Oh, okay, hop, skip, and jump. That was close. Hop, skip, and jump. You hop from Mary, skip to Anna, jump to... I say to Jehovah, the one I will say, that's the one I'm going to marry. When she said no the first time, I said, no, I'll give you time. Remember, in between, there is time. Time is between what? To every season, there is a to every purpose. So, in between here, time. The Lord Jesus Christ said, Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. And I said, Father, forgive her. And I walked away. 2 years later, she said to me, on the 22nd of June, at about 8:22 in the evening, I was on a landline, those plastic type landlines, which was not yellow. Some of you might know the color. It was not yellow. Those PTC lines. Yeah. It took 2 years, the time. I said to the Lord, Lord, this time, she's the one who must propose. Ngoba nguye phela owathi ngemva kwesikhathi, not me. If there is no harvest to this meeting, when there is no harvest to fire night, where there is no harvest to your relationships, when there is, the only reason I took the young people who went with me today was one reason, so that they learn. When we arrived in places, I taught. When we were in the car, we were chatting. In the chat, we were teaching and sharing with one another. It was not upelegezelana. I am not lonely. I don't need to upelegezel. Is that making sense now? So, from today, within now, so I've seen the harvest. The harvest causes me now to prepare. In the preparation, I have a start and I have a finish. The reason for the preparation is because of the harvest. From preparation, I must now go to sowing. The reason for the sowing is because of the harvest. From sowing, I go to tending. The reason for the tending is because of the harvest. That's why people don't give. Why don't they give? They have no harvest. Are you sure you are understanding this? I was talking to someone last night, and we were talking, and I was saying, you know what? Some of you who've sat and spoken to me, you know my vision of a hobby, of a churrasco, Brazilian type churrasco, which is a dry place where people can come and eat sadza with dobi and chickens and oh, I'm sorry. Okay. I see I'm offending some people here. Okay. And there was this person, this restaurant in Sandton, South Africa, selling all their outside furniture. Table with quads tops. Sets, 7 sets, each set with 4 chairs. Want so much money? I said, no, I'll give you so much money. Oh no, the boss said this. I said, no, that's fine. When the boss changes their mind, get in touch with me. Okay, if you come today, you can. I said, no, I'm not coming today. We agreed on my price. Remember, these are 1 meter by 1 meter quads. And some of you who know quads, you know quads is more expensive than granite. 7 of them, each with 4 chairs. What is the cost? I negotiated it to a certain amount. Let's put it that way. So I decided by last night I'm not going to buy it. And I'm talking to someone. And I don't know how it slipped into the conversation. I said, no, I'm not buying this anymore. My focus is on the kettle. I said, please, just wait. I have the money. I am not using it. Please take the money, buy these things, and then pay me when you are able to. I said, are you serious? I can never be more serious. Please take the money. Don't let these things go. So I said, who am I? I decided this afternoon I'm going to lower the price again. Why am I doing that? Because I have a vision. Very clear. This is my Sunday afternoon. If I'm feeling very energetic, put on an apron, go and serve customers. After brutally ministering here. Why? It's my way of unwinding. Those of you who have been home for a braai, you know how I love to serve braais. Abanye selithula ngoba seladla lasutha. So everything begins with question. What is your harvest? The praying you've been doing these 40 days, what is your harvest? Jehovah can't answer arbitrary prayers with no harvest. When your vision is clear, your walk is precise. Ngabanye sesibabhowa manje. Mama here was telling me of a man that used to come to JCC. He'd be sitting in the car the whole day. She met the wife. Wife was telling him, no, how baba kates sethanda umkhuleko the at Revelation Church. Ungena uqala shaya manzi ngejompi ekhiswe ngamalips angu 100. Abaxubhayo labangaxubhiyo. Vision. For the joy that was, if Jesus had not seen you, he would have never have gone to the cross. Number one, only sow what defines your harvest. Only sow what defines your harvest. Galatians 6 verse 7, don't be deceived. God is not mocked. Whatsoever a man sows and a woman, that shall he also reap. For he who sows to his flesh will of the flesh reap corruption. But he who sows to the Spirit will of the Spirit reap life everlasting. Let us not be weary in doing well, for in due season we shall reap if we do not faint. If we don't faint, we will reap. What is that telling you? Between sowing and harvest, there is time. And the reason why Jehovah must put time is because time is the separator between the fake and the genuine. Are you sure you got that? Time is the separator. God deliberately, he could have answered Abraham. Isaac could have been born when Abraham was 75. He was born when Abraham was 100. What was the time? Test. Are you sure you're hearing? The time was test. When ufuna miracle man, hambe Harar. ayisekho futhi la khathesi ngoba yayifetha. Time is what separates the sowing and the harvest. Why did God put time? Because time is what tells you who will add value to your life and who will try and destroy you. Job's wife said, curse God and die. Time wasn't working for her. Why saying a Malia foundation, no money, yeah, lipstick which increases hemoglobin, no locus, and she got tired. Was no longer going to Dubai for shopping. Psalms 126 verse 5. They that sow in tears shall reap in joy. He who goes forth and weeps, bearing precious seed, shall doubtless come again with rejoicing, bringing his sheaves with him. Why is there an absence of sheaves? Harvest. Why is there an absence of sheaves? Harvest. Why is there an absence of sheaves? Harvest. You can't have what you never saw. Number 2, always sow according to season and not according to the weather. The weather is the appearance of things. Bothwell was hot today. The Midlands was freezing. Freezing. I had some of our guys standing like this here. Says I could have been standing there in my shorts. Looking at those animals, how do you feel the cold? Yeah, what kind of cold would you recognize? I mean, you have not seen beautiful animals. Some of us were totally lost. If I had my way, I would have stood in that crawl. I was wearing my nice new boots, standing inside dung. There was no You actually want to pick up the dung and smell it. Because dung smells differently according to season and according to the diet of the animals. And its composition is also according to the diet of the animal. You can look at dung and be able to tell what is going on within the intestine of an animal. Oh, okay, all right. Harvest is what determines what we are talking about. He who observes the wind, Ecclesiastes chapter 11 verse 4, will not sow. And he who regards the clouds shall not reap. So we don't know what fire night is going to be. It may be freezing cold. All I know is the weather I have ordered for Saturday and Sunday. Right. One of my daughters got in touch with me and said, Daddy, what weather did you order for Saturday? I said, don't worry, baby. It's taken care of. I've got that covered. That's sorted. As you know not what is the way of the Spirit, nor how the bonds grow in the womb of her who is a child, even so you don't know the works of God who makes them all. In the morning, therefore, sow your seed, and in the evening, withhold not your hand. For you do not know which one shall prosper, either this one or that, or whether they both shall be alike. What I said. I offering you boy. John Lapano keep you $2 go bond divided by 3. It's about 60 something cents. waqinisa ikhanda, hamba le $2 yakho phakathi kwe-envelope, fika wahlanyela. So you wondered why others are sharing continuous testimonies of abundance. When yakho ingani yasilela, mara ungabi nomona, hamba uyebheka imbewu, mara lapho kungenambewu khona akunamvuno. Ma uyihlanyelile imbewu, imvuno ingekho, yisikhathi. Ungaze ungihwaqele, akusoke kwantshintsha, kuyabe lokhe kunjalo, kuza kuba njalo kuze kube lana phakade. Amen. AmaRoma ayazi into yakhona. Number 3, sowing in violation of God reaps the anger of God. Micah chapter 6 verse 15, you shall not sow, you shall not reap. No, you shall sow, but you shall not reap. You shall tread the olive, but you will not anoint yourself with oil. And sweet wine, you shall not drink any of the wine. For the statutes of Omri are kept, and all the works of the house of Ahab, the satanic king, you are keeping them. You are walking in their counsels, that I should make you a desolation and the inhabitants thereof an hissing or a shame. Therefore, you shall bear the reproach of my people. Watch. Bible says, bring the tithe to my storehouse, so that there may be meat in my house. And see if I will open the windows of heaven. Wait. The day when there is meat in your house and there is no meat in Jehovah's house, the meat in your house will evaporate. Let me explain. Because meat flows from the altar. Okay, so okay. Let's not, we want. Number 4, unsown seed produces an absence of harvest and dishonor from life. Unsown seed produces an absence of harvest. Why? You sowed wind, you reaped wind. And it brings dishonor from life. Matthew 25 verse 24. Then he which had the 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew that you are a hard man, reaping where you did not sow and gathering where you had not sown. And I was afraid. I went, hid your talent in the earth. Well, here is your talent. His Lord answered and said to him, you wicked and lazy servant. Is it not amazing that the Bible speaks of the wise virgins and the foolish virgins? He calls the one who will not work wicked. The word used for witches, adulterers, murderers. Because umuntu who is not diligent with their hands is a murderer. Are you sure you're still here? Bible says, you ought to have put my money. Then at my coming, I should have received my money with interest. Therefore, take the talent from him. Give it to the one who works harder. Take the talent from this lazy one. You think prayer produces prosperity? Give it to that one who has been working. Show me a righteous, lazy person and a diligent sinner. I'll do business with a diligent sinner. The righteous lazy one will lead me to poverty. Number 5, the amount you sow into yourself is the amount you reap from yourself. The amount you sow into yourself is the amount you reap from yourself. How much are you reaping from yourself? People who dislike themselves. The only time you dislike yourself because you never invested in yourself. How do I sow into myself? I taught you on self-development. Well, not all of you, some of you. 2 Corinthians chapter 9 verse 6. But this I say, he who sows sparingly shall also reap sparingly. He who sows bountifully shall also reap bountifully. Every man according as he purposes in his heart, so let him give. Not grudgingly, or because it's time to give. For God loves a... Because, you know the amount of wastage that goes on here every Sunday. The Bible says God loves a... That word cheerful means a hilarious giver. Someone who has seen the harvest. Why is he hilarious? They have seen the harvest. Therefore, they are now coming to sow, because the harvest, when they have sown, becomes theirs. When I want to giving as if Babanjonga man. That's why there is no blessing to it. One of the things I never do when I travel, I give my offerings according to my standard, not according to the standard of the place where I was. I was in a prosperity church ministering there years ago with my wife. Noticed as directors of companies, businessmen were coming, giving offerings, 30 rand, 50 rand. I thought, oh, I'm short. I'd been introduced to them. They were elders in the church. Some were pastors. 30 rand. $2 something. Well, sure, when you're a businessman, when you get Jehovah, $2 something. What we didn't understand is your gift can either insult you or it can promote you. Izakhamizi umgabe wayesinxesi emakhaya. Izakhamizi bele nkalakathe enkabi. Lokuthi babe ezithethe ngaphi. Bele nkalakathe enkabi engaka. They were not giving him because he had nothing. He was 1 trillion times wealthier than them. It was honor. Because you never meet royalty empty-handed. Some of you wonder, that lady there who sells goats, gave Hilda. Someone was laughing at me that they say, you know, you make the husband jealous. The way this woman loves you. I found that she'll say, come Bothwell. Say, I'm taking Bothwell up, I'm going to make him some tea. Give him some cake. I came to just pay for goats. Take me upstairs, sit me down. Take albums, showing me, see, these pictures, these are my grandchildren. She doesn't do that with everyone. The first time after I met her, I went back, I bought my bottle of Karimba, I bought some stuff, I got there with a paper bag. And she said, you shouldn't have. I said, I should have. When I phone, she just picks up, hi Bothwell, how are you? We chat as if we went to school together. She's 20 odd years older than I am. amount you sow into yourself. And God is able to make all grace. Let me read that for me. God is able to make all grace. What is grace? Unmerited favor. God is able to make all unmerited favor abound toward me, that I, always having all sufficiency in all things, may abound to every good work. I may abound to every good work. So we are standing at the crawl, and I said, you had said you had 6 bulls. There are 11 bulls here. That one there that you said is already bought. There are 10 bulls here. He said, you know. So I said, no, that's fine. I'll take all the 10. So I took all the 10. He's able to make all grace abound towards me. Who am I to look down upon Brahman bulls asking me to come and stay at my home? Who am I? How proud am I that I am going to fail to humble myself? And I checked, by the way, all of them. Fantastic temperament. They were coming to where I was standing. Fantastic. God is able to make all. All grace, all unmerited favor abound towards me, that I have in all sufficiency in all things. Hey, ngaphandle xa uledlozi lobuyanga lelobuthakathi yikho lapho uzokhona kubuhlungu uzokubhowa tasiqaliseni phela ukukhuleka siyabe sikhulekani. If you don't have a harvest, what are you going to be praying? Lokubhowa amadimoni lapha ngemkhuleka, uNkulunkulu baba, mina uNkulunkulu baba, bengithi mina uNkulunkulu baba, ukuthi wena uNkulunkulu baba usenzele umusa uNkulunkulu baba. Sometimes I have the misfortune getting someone praying like that, and I want to say, hey, shut up. Even the demons are getting bored. Bona uhambe emgoqweni amadimoni eqhweba nazo, uNkulunkulu baba sebuyile. Ngube labanye obhinya, you walk down the road, street empty, clean. No demon in sight. Demons fighting with Satan. Satan saying, go and attack him. Hamba uyomthatha wethu. Lokuthumela thina lapha, hamba wena. Hamba la usibone. Ndiyafana selingidelela kakhulu. Number 6, always acknowledge God in your harvest and seek His wisdom in your storing. Always acknowledge God in your harvest. Seek His wisdom in your storing. Always acknowledge God in your harvest and seek His wisdom in your storing. Luke 12:16, He spake a parable to them, saying, the ground of a certain rich man brought forth plentiful, and thought within himself, saying, what shall I do? Because I have no room where to bestow my fruits. He said, this will I do. I'll pull down all my barns and build big ones, and there will I bestow all my fruits and my goods. I will say to my soul, soul, you have so much laid up for many years. Take it easy. Eat, drink, and be merry. But God said unto him, thou fool, this night your soul shall be required of you. Then whose shall those things be which you have provided? So is he who lays up treasure for himself and is not rich towards God. Watch. That story never made sense to me. For many years that story offended me. Here is a guy, he planted his cornfield. Now he had a multiplied bumper harvest. He said, I'm going to destroy that barn. Build a huge one. That's not a sin. That's why I'm apostoling. That's my apostoling that we are respond to appeal. I thought to myself, the Bible says, God said, thou fool. How was he a fool? This is a smart guy according to me. He had a small barn. He was going to destroy it, build big ones. The answer is in the last verse. Let's read it together. But God, and no. Go to the next one. So is he that lays up treasure for himself and is not rich towards God. One of our sons, unfortunately, I don't know, maybe he'll send his testimony. He spoke to me, phoned me, said, "Daddy, let me tell you something. You had already read, I think, a testimony of from contract to permanent. When I sent out that prophetic declaration and I said your seed concerning those vehicles will not go begging. Jehovah shall answer you for it. This, my son says, Dad, let me tell you the story. When you made that declaration, my account had zero. This is overseas. He says it was on a Thursday, I remember, when you said. He says I had stock sitting, hadn't managed to sell for days. He says by the end of Friday, I had just over 1,000 pounds. By the end of the weekend, I had more than 3,600 pounds. People, same adverts I had sent people, it was like, suddenly people just woke up and said, I want this one, I want this one. Why? You've got to understand. The reason I don't buy from people's shops, is because people who buy there buy blind. So many of us have done it many times. You bought a suit, then you ask yourself, why did I buy this suit? I don't even like the color. When I'm really putting tandas, abanye bagqoka size 18 eAmerica, ologqoka amabhutisi. Ethanda this suit. After you bought it, but beyigoqela what uphuma so usiza uchaya uvalo ukuthi but I made a mistake here. I made a mistake. But I lapha ngilahlile. If it was a car you bought, when you were going to pay for it, you knew beyond the fact you shouldn't buy this car. You knew it was wrong. Waqinisa ikhanda njengomthakathi. Fika wabhadala. The guy was so shocked that you were that stupid that he gave you a $50 discount. I know, msalele hambi yoteli fuel. The car broke down. Why? Because you defied the Spirit. You're still there? God said to him, you are a fool. Why? Because you are not rich towards me. Oh, by the way, yesterday I went to see the pardon hair stand. Hey, take your seats. Our introduction was arriving there, parking the car. This one woman comes out, guns blazing. Why are we parking there? I said, Mama, what's the problem? I said, Mama, this is not part of your yard. You can go to city council if you like. At number 9, all that lawn you see that we have outside, that's city council land. That's not my yard. This woman was angry. So we walked It is beautiful. It was a recreational place. Sasiri kusemjingweni kudala. Mjingweni wePadonest. If you want to go there, it's at the corner of Colston and Dawlish, behind Brady Barracks, near by the preschool. The preschool is almost semi-gombolozelled by the land. We walk to the top. These two elderly women are walking past, and I greeted them. Makadiwana mama. Tinosimba mwana wangu. Tuona makangomira muchitarisa pano. Muri kufunga zvipi? So I said, no, ndachifunga kuti tichauya tozombopagadzira gadzire tiise chechi. Muise chechi? Pano isusu takataura nameya kuti tiisire borehole pano, nekuti ndakasvika pano inini mwana wangu 1982 ndichitenga imba yangu iyo. So I let them talk. After that, talked and talked. I said, so they are talking, pano, taitaura nameya, I said, Vanagogo, that's the reason why I'm here, to clean up this area. But they are unhappy that the place is now owned by someone. Okay. Listen to them. Then I said, Saka imba ive pano from 1982. Mwanangu, ndakatenga imba in 1982. Oh, Saka gogo Juma munovaziva. Ndaziwa mkwasha wa Juma kauyu. So she came, started shaking our hands. Said, see why you went home room womwana uyu mdiki uyu. Wakasimba ere mwana wangu. Andiri ndimi wepa chechi iye muna Harare Road. Mukazobvapo ndikati kuti takabva tikadzoka. Anditi apo ndandakakuisirai chibhorani chokuti musanetswa nemvura. Zvikanzi mwanangu, dati tomboti tichifamba tichienda kunotora mvura kuna Harare Road. Ndikati azvigoni izvozvo. Zvinogoitika sei kuti munoenda kuna Harare Road muchinotora mvura iyo nzvimbo yenyu iripo apo? Zvikanzi shuwa mwana wangu shuwa. Ndikati chinzwai manje. Zvandoita manje. Ndochikuisirai chibhorani pano. So, what we are going to do at Padonest, we're going to put the church sanctuary, but just like Gomoza, it's going to be a community center. Wait. It's going to be a community center. We are going to landscape the place and put a borehole. We are going to put, so I told them that we are going to put those swings and other things for the kids. We'll put them. Then we're going to put all those benches and plant trees where elderly people can just come and sit down. By the end of the day, the husband to the wife who got married with us, we were chatting with him by the gate eventually. He said, "Hi, what in Mpum?" He came out. We stood there chatting with him for about 30 minutes. First, he was upset. I said, no, asiphiwanga. Isinge yethu. So I gave Mfundisi an instruction. Go and buy a little peace offering. Go there. Go and say to Umdalute kona izolupana mama mambese zondile. Sunguta boss. Guess what? Only to discover ndimai woruwadza. When I told the Gogos, I said, Potanan, mining. When I said, yo. So there, let me tell you now, we're going to do very interesting things. All those Gogos and all, from Methodist, Anglican, blah, 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 we're going to have special meetings for them. They can come wearing their Methodist uniforms, their Anglican uniforms, because we're not out to build river of life. Sasibhowa abanye khathesi. The rest we'll do that. We'll do that another time because we're not going to stop the season of harvest now. Somebody getting this? So what was the mistake you and me made? There was no harvest. But there was activity. There was sowing, a little bit of tending. Have you seen when you're driving on the road, you see cattle? You're on the side of the road. You must know either I've departed to be with the Lord and you didn't know about it. That will never happen. Then after a week, isikhathi semahlangeni. Ngesangini leso. Oh, I don't have my cell phone. I was going to show you. This here, I've never left it somewhere in public. I always take care of it. Okay? How much is this, John? How much is this tablet?
1,000 rands.
How much do you sell it? You don't sell ngamarand.
Here it should be around about $600.
$600.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey. I think the one corner lapha you want and half unkomo engiwe still later. Huh? Anyone wants to buy it, please see me after the meeting. For you, just 400 only. I never leave this. My cell phone. I never leave it anywhere. Why am I going to have a head of cattle? I'm sleeping at home or I'm seated at home and I don't know where they are. Harvest. Oh, you're still not getting it. Harvest. Harvest. If I'm not prepared to leave this on the road, why would I leave my goat on the road? When there is no harvest, when there is no, you said vision, I said harvest. The people do what? You want me to show you what they do whilst they are perishing? They go to work. They earn money. They get paid a salary. Then bathola impension. Buyele bayahlala ekhaya. Because they had no harvest. When you have no harvest, anyone is suitable to marry. When you have no harvest, any career is okay for you. When you have no harvest, you just go to, as long as you go a university, you apply kuphela. Then bakutshela ukuthi bona what they're going to offer you. How can you offer me? Offer ume ngaphi kwakhona? That's why I've never been with anyone and we went into a restaurant and said, what would you like? Say, anything. The absence of harvest. Okay, so now write in your books. Number one, what is my harvest? Then write the answer below it. Now, not usas. What is my harvest? Write the answer below that. What is my harvest? So that when we start praying, you are very clear about what you're praying. What is my harvest? So right there. What your harvest is. Right? You'll finish at home. Number 2. What preparation do I need for this harvest? What is the preparation needed for this harvest? What is the preparation needed for this harvest? A 1 kg piece of steel can make you a packet of screws that you can sell for about just under $100. If you make it watch springs, it can go up to about $75,000, the same piece of metal. It doesn't take the same amount of time to train a cook as it does to train a neurosurgeon. What preparation do I need? Write it down. What preparation you need. Don't say to work hard. That's meaningless. What preparation do you need? What books? What training? What exposure? What research? What people do you need to meet? Who do you need to interview? Who do you need to align yourself to, connect yourself to? What messages do you need to listen to? Who are the people you need to discard out of your life, and who are the people you need to attract into your life? Number 3. What will it cost me the cost here we're talking, cost in time, cost in money, cost in sacrifice, cost in relationships, cost in the development of passion. If you don't know the cost, is because there is no harvest. You don't know the cost, there is no harvest. So what will it cost me? Then number what? Number 4. What do I need to guard against, and what do I need to develop? Sometimes what you need to guard against is, who do you need to guard against? What do you need to guard against? What are the things that you need to develop yourself? Do you need to go to bed early and wake up early to pray? Do you need to develop the habit of going and pray yourself to sleep? Do you need to start investing in books? Do you need to listen to a message every night before you go to bed? Because you are developing. What are things I need to guard against? What time should I switch off my phone so that WhatsApp is not speaking louder than the voice of God? When do I switch off the television? If you have a television with a timer, put a timer on it to switch off automatically whilst you're watching. Discipline yourself that when it switches off, it cannot be turned on. Lastly, what will my harvest look like? What is it going to look like? I told some people, I said, when I started buying goats, and I think we had about 12 goats, and I said, no, by this time I need to have over 100 goats. They said, ah, oh, there are over 100 goats now. I told the guy who's my new friend, and I said to him, uh, we need to schedule. I'll come and buy a minimum 100 heifers a year from you. Can't have 20 cows and you call yourself a sakamuzi. You're not a sakamuzi. That's poverty, that. Then when you talk, I think they figure even 80. 80. I have 2 sons. They've got a charge with 10 nkomo each. Out of 80, that's already 25% gone. Is that correct? 25% gone. Just 2 little guys can deplete my crawl by 25%. I believe a poor man should own at least about 500 head of cattle. Anything below 15 years as chub. Those are not cattle. Do I look serious? Okay. That's because I'm not joking. This is not a joke. I'm about to be posting a poverty. So I told him I'll collect a minimum 100 head every year. Find people talking about cattle. You have 50 cattle. Don't talk. Just keep quiet. When they ask you to have cattle, say no. When you have 200, say I have a few. When you have 500, say I kono konje ungatsho lutho. When you have 1,000, now you are beginning to talk. You are beginning. You are not yet talking. You are beginning. Sikhuluma inkomo ezizwayo. Ekhona ezothi ungabhadala amalobolo nga ubaba zalahla kuzonde for the rest of your life. Baba zale ngacharge amalobolo 10 inkomo. Lethe extra 2. Engakhayela quality yenkomo zakhona phansi. Thela amanzi then engavuka. Ekhangela futhi inkomo. Uyabe sefuna ama-ushers bayabembambile so ekhangela inkomo. Tishua lithe inkomo zamalobolo yindesi. Kasasithezi lichumi ezinye lezi to hayi no ezinguthule ezingeze sichebo tata. Buya ubaba zala khohli isinto afika ukufama into. Mfana wami. Osho thatha bonke vele thatha bonke. So what does my harvest look like? See where we've begun? Okay. So then what you will do, because I've taught you this before, you go now to the 6 spokes of life. The spiritual, the mental, the physical, the social, the family, the financial, or the economic. You go now and you answer all those questions now, break them down into those. Now you have set a standard. When you wake up in the morning to pray, you are praying now with position. You are not, you will be, Rabashanda, 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 Roboshanda, 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 Ribashanda, 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 No. when there is a stirring, ungathi nxa ulele, untshintshi side, from this side, usithi so, amadimoni achayela nukwelo. Trouble just turned. Have you got your manifesto now? That's your manifesto. Some of you need to go and print it out. Put it where you can see it daily. That's how you begin to pray differently. You begin to talk differently. You begin to relate to people differently. You begin to think differently. You begin to behave differently. And you begin to give differently. You see, I emphasize giving. I never emphasize what? Because it is more blessed. Because blessing comes from than. Is that making sense? Okay, so this is how we're going to pray. We're going to start praying. And you're going to very quietly. Those of you who are passive, heaven help you. You're going to stand there. You're going to fire away. How do you do that? Okay, so just on the inside, without praying now. But you are not making any sound. This is all inside. Whenever you hear the instruction, now raise your voice a little bit. Takata lahasa zukayata mugia imbeketota zomoliala tatatata muzda vin alaba beketayasha. Some of you will notice when I'm praying, I assume military stances, it happens, doesn't happen mentally. You'll never see me assuming that Brother Zeus stands. Then now when you get the second call, raise your voice. Raise your voice now. The power that God used sound. God used sound to break the walls of Jericho. Are you sure you're getting this? When the Philistines had come against them, he said, take lamps, put them. Then when it comes a time, break the, not calabashes, the earthen containers. Break them. That's the power of light to fight a battle. Are you sure you are listening to this? Then again, Jehoshaphat, he says, let the worshippers with the priests walk in front. Amen. That one there, again, the power of sound. Are you sure you are getting this? You know the difference, you approach a person. Normally when I walk into offices, now I went into an office he normally goes to. He cowarded me, told me no bafalang of 4:30 when I bafalang of 4 o'clock. I arrived there 12 minutes past 4. Opened the door, there was no one. What is that? Surveyor's General Office. So I saw a door written staff only. I went and opened it. I looked inside. No, I said, I'm very sorry. I can see it's written staff only. But I have an inquiry. I said, oh, I'm very sorry. I had been told it was 4 o'clock. I came running. The men came to assist. His colleague came to assist. The last one to come out was the boss. This is in a government department. They were helping me from about 4:15 to 4:30 when they knocked off at 4. The power of voice. When it's not fair, hey, Masquera. There is no power in that sound. Are you sure you are hearing this? For those of you who do deliverance, it's not the volume that casts out the demon. But it's just good to know, I hear, that it's just good to know. Footsack. Have you ever seen what children do? A little puppy comes in, hey, what's up? The voice tells the puppy, I know, this one is joking. Is that making sense? That's the power. Many of us have not yet understood how to harness the power of voice. Then there are places now when you are praying like that. Always when I pray like that, I enter into new tongues, fresh tongues for that day. All right? You are dealing with a different order in the spirit. Is that making sense? Is that making sense? If it's making sense, jump to your feet. So right now, I want don't start praying right now. Don't pray. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father. The worship belongs to you. The honor belongs to you. The glory belongs to you. The majesty belongs to you. Here are your people. Here are your children. Yes, my Father. We've spoken so many things, my Father, and yet some of the things are a bit hidden, but you will reveal them to us. Whether in here or as we meditate upon this at home, but they will be revealed to us. But Father, right now, be glorified. Be God. Be God. Be God. Let the God of Elijah be the God that encounters his people. Right now, begin to pray quietly on the inside.